Hi guys, welcome to the projectgympa.com. My name is Denis Borisov and today we're gonna talk about the Flat Barbell Bench Press. We will examine this awesome movement as a bodybuilding exercise, not as powerlifting but as bodybuilding. The point is that this exercise technique has a number of features that you have to know if you want to gain muscle mass. Okay, so let me get started. I'm gonna do bench press and provide comments and tips at the same time. And tip number 1, don't put your gluteus off the bench and don't arch your lower back. Be in contact with the bench, Of course, if you want to gain some muscle mass. Why no space between your torso and the bench? Because arching distributes tension from your chest to shoulders and back. That makes this exercise much easier for your pecs. Arching helps lift heavier weights up because involved triceps, back, and the most powerful parts of your chest. So the exercise gets easier because of involved extra muscles in your work. Nevertheless, this exercise is for building chest muscles first of all. That's why you have to isolate your chest. To do it, you have to keep your back firmly planted on the bench. To do it, you have to put your legs up, raise your legs up. Because the higher I set my legs, the harder for me to involve other muscle groups. In other words, when I keep my legs on the floor, I can put my hand between my lower back and the bench. See it, yes? But when I raise them up, the space disappears. So the exercise gets more isolated for my pecs. That's good, isn't it? Tip number 2, variety of grip options. The narrower the grip is, the more triceps is involved in workout. The wider the grip is, the shorter range of motion in exercise. Short range reduces tension in your pecs muscles. So the exercise gets easier, and that is why you can push heavier weights up. That's why powerlifters use wide grip. Look how it goes. This is narrow grip, and this is wide one. Look how shorter range of motion became. That's not good. What's the conclusion? If you are a bodybuilder, you have to seek optimum grip width, wherein you have maximum range of motion on the one hand and minimal involve of triceps on the other hand. Usually it's middle grip, like this. Approximately with this grip width, we have on the one hand good range of motion and minimal involve of triceps. Excellent. Another very important moment. Put the bar as close to the thumb of your hand as possible, because this prevents your wrist from hyperextending. Hyperextending isn't a good thing, it can be dangerous. So you have to put the bar, the bar close to your wrist, not close to your fingers, like this. Don't bend your wrist. And one more important advice. Don't use thumbless grip, like this. This is thumbless grip. You have to use your thumb when performing the bench press. Of course, if you don't want the bar to slip out of your hands. This position is better. Oh, excellent. Okay. Now, tip number 3. Tip number 3, use non-locks. Train in a partition range of motion. Don't lock out your elbows at the top position. Top position, don't lock out. You have to train in a partition range of motion like this. Don't lock out at the top position. This is lockout. Why? Because the tension goes out from your chest to your triceps when you're looking out at the top. Look how it goes. 1, 2, 3. So you see, I'm performing the exercise in a partition range of motion without lockouts. So all tension stayed in my chest. And look, now I locked out, and the tension moved to the triceps from the chest. So if you are a bodybuilder, you have to train in a partition range of motion. Don't lock out at the top position on the one hand, and on the other hand, don't put at the lowest point, don't lay the bar on your chest. This is the lowest point. Lockout, without lockout, and this is the lowest point. You have to work in a partition range of motion. Excellent. Another advice, another tip number 4. Sometimes guys ask me about breathing. What way is correct? The main rule is always the same, not only about the flat barbell bench press, but about many other exercises. The main rule is always the same. Always exhale on exertion. Always exhale on exertion. You have to exhale on the push, and inhale as you bring it to the chest. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. That's not difficult, as I see. Okay, and tip number 5. Tip number 5 is about your shoulder blades. In powerlifting, it is a very popular technique when we squeeze shoulder blades together, like this. Squeeze shoulder blades together. So I show you. So you can hear such recommendation from majority of people, athletes, and so on. Sometimes people say that you have to squeeze shoulder blades together in order to push heavy weights up. Okay, it's good for powerlifting, but it isn't good for bodybuilders. Yes, it really helps to push heavy weights up, but very often it's because of arching your lower back. See? Squeeze shoulder blades together and the space appears. Arching. Arching is not good for bodybuilders because arching distributes tension from your chest to other muscle groups. That's not good. So that's why if you are a bodybuilder, I recommend you to focus not on your shoulder blades, but on your rib cage. If you fill your chest up with air, like this, inflate and stretch your chest for work. That works much better for muscle building because it doesn't create space between your torso and the bench. So I don't think about my shoulder blades in this situation. But I fill my chest up with air. And that is why the exercise becomes more comfortable for muscle building. And the exercise works better for muscle building. Okay, so that's all. So summarizing, first of all, first tip, don't put your glutes off the bench. You have to be in contact with the bench while performing the bench, the flat barbell bench press. You have to use optimum grip width, remember, yes. Use non-locks. You have to train in a partition range of motion without lockouts at the top position. About breathing, the main rule is always exhale on exertion. And tip number 5, about shoulder blades. Don't focus on your shoulder blades. Focus on your rib cage. Inflate it and stretch it. The flat barbell bench press isn't my favorite exercise because therein it's hard to isolate and focus on chest muscles. In this regard, I prefer incline bench press. However, I decided to start with observing the flat barbell bench press because, you know, it's basic exercise. In any gym, one of the first questions is, "Hey man, how much can you bench?" Anyway, I hope you found the information useful today. That's all. Thanks for clicking. You can leave your comments down below. Subscribe to my YouTube channel featuring new exercises videos weekly. This is the flat barbell bench press, baby.